So distance covers the whole path, and displacement only the initial and the final destination. So I think it is clear now what is the difference between displacement and distance. Now, my dear students, we will consider uniform motion and non-uniform motion. So let's start with uniform motion. So let us consider few observation, and that observation is totally based on our practical purpose. So let us see, if I will consider A object and B object. Here we will take A and B. If distance traveled by A object, that is in meter, and distance traveled by B object, again that is in meter, at 9:30 am will be 10 meter, and for B it will be 12 meter. Again at 9:45 am A travels 20 meter and B travels 19 meter. Again at 10 am A travels 30 and B travels 23. Again at 10:15 am A travels 40 meter and B travels 35. Now examine them carefully and start whether the motion of the object is uniform or non-uniform. Dekho, the definition will come out from this proper observation only. If the object covers equal distance, there is a difference of 10. If the object covers equal distance in equal interval of time, here see 30 45, that means 15 minutes का gap है, that is equal gap. 15 minutes was distributed equally. So if the object covers equal distance in equal interval of time, it is termed to be uniform motion. And if the object covers unequal distance, see here 12 and 19, the difference is 7. 19 and 23, what will be the difference? 4. Here 23 to 35, what will be the difference? 22. So uniformity can't be seen there. Time is proper, that we have a 15 minutes of equal interval of time, but the distance covered by the object B is unequal. So it is termed to be non-uniform motion. So how should we write? For uniform motion, we need equal distance in equal interval of time. For non-uniform motion, unequal distance in equal interval of time. So this is the difference between uniform motion and non-uniform motion. And do you know, when we plot a graph between uniform motion and non-uniform motion, you know very well, this is x-axis and this is y-axis, and we will denote it like this. So now that this is the distance and this is the time, so we will consider as distance time graph. Suppose this is 2, this is 4, this is again 2, this is 4. Suppose हर 2 घंटे से वो 2-2 किलोमीटर आगे जा रहा है. So we will have this type of graph for a straight line, okay, a straight line for uniform motion. So for uniform motion we will have a straight line, and for the non-uniform motion which is also termed to be accelerated motion. Accelerated motion. This is the another name for non-uniform motion, and the graph will be like this. This is our x, this is our y, this is d. ऐसे आपको mention करना है properly, and this is the t, and the graph will be something like that. It's curved line. So this is non-uniform motion. So I hope this is clear. Now we will study step by step about speed, velocity and acceleration. So let's start with speed. Everyone knows that speed is distance traveled by time taken. We will denote speed with V, distance with S and time with T. So this is the normal formula for speed. Few things which we have to keep in our mind is that the SI unit for speed is meter per second. That is meter per second. Now ऐसा नहीं है कि हम इसे किलोमीटर पर आवर में भी नहीं बता सकते या सेंटीमीटर पर सेकेंड में नहीं बोल सकते. वी कैन, बट the standard unit or we will consider it the SI unit is meter per second. One more thing is there are two physical quantities. One is scalar and the another one is vector. Please remember these two terms very well: scalar quantity and vector quantity. What happens in scalar? It just have magnitude but no direction. Specific direction नहीं होती. In this case magnitude भी होता है and direction भी होती है. So for speed we don't have a specific direction. If we will consider, we must express the speed of all the units. They just have the magnitude only and no specific direction. कोई specified direction नहीं होती. That is why इसको हम scalar quantity बोलते हैं. And if we want to have speed of a running car, if I want the speed of a running car or any vehicle at any instant of time, it can be measured or shown by an instrument called speedometer, जो ऑलरेडी हमारे व्हीकल्स में फिक्स्ड होता है. And if we want to measure with another instrument, then it is termed to be odometer. And we had already studied about odometer in our previous class also, but it is again to measure the speed. अब speed जो होती है speedometer या odometer में, that is kilometer per hour. It is denoted by, it gives the speed in kilometer per hour and it records the distance covered the distance covered in kilometer. So this is all about speed. Now average speed, that is when this word average come, you just write total. So total distance traveled upon total time taken. Again, जितना डिस्टेंस कवर होगा अपॉन टोटल टाइम टेकन वी विल कंसिडर. So that is called the average speed. You must be aware of the proper formula for average speed. You must be knowing that speed is just distance traveled upon time taken, and for average speed we will have the value that is total distance traveled upon time, total time taken. Now the next one, if we will consider it, is